Hello and welcome to Tutorial CU. My name is Yannick, and in this video we're talking about the differences between, well, the most common data structures, classes, structs and records. So let's get started right away. And as always, to save you some time, because I don't want to waste it, I just put in the code here and we will go through it because I don't want you to get bored while I write down some basic C# code, right? Great, so let's get started with the first one, which, well, nearly every C# developer knows for sure, which are the classes. So here I created a public class person, and that person has a constructor. So this is how we can create that object. We have three properties: name, age, address, and we got a method. So a class can have properties, variables, a constructor, and methods, and we can simply create a new person by calling its constructor, passing in some values that we want to use for initialization, and then we simply can call the sayHello method. Now, as you can tell, classes are the most commonly used type of data structure. They are reference types, which means that when an object is created from that class, as we're doing it right here, the reference of that object is passed around rather than the object itself. So keep that in mind. A class is a reference type where we pass around the reference of the object. Also, classes are often used to model complex objects with multiple data members and methods. Right now we have multiple data members, only one method, but for sure we could have like 10 or 20 methods. Great, so that should be clear. Now let's move over to a struct. There we go. Here we have a struct, public struct point. We have two properties, x and y. Again, we have a constructor, and also here we have a method. Now, in comparison to the classes, structs are value types. They are no reference types, and that's one of their biggest differences. And it basically means that when an object is created from a struct, for example, here we create a new point, and point is a struct, then a copy of that object is created and passed around rather than the reference to it. That's very important. If you create an object from a class, the reference will get passed around, but if you create an object from a struct, a copy of that object will get passed around. And in that moment where you change the value of a data member, let's say you change x from being 10 to 12 afterwards, a new copy of that object will get created, and that's the key difference. And if you are serious about your C# career, check out our C# Progress Academy. It is a self-paced online course that teaches you full stack web development with C#, Angular, unit testing, and even C# software design patterns. We offer a 14-day money-back guarantee, and I'm absolutely sure that this is the fastest way on how you can progress as a C# developer to get hired as soon as possible. You can find the link in the description below or popping up right now at the top right corner. And if you like that video, and if you like that comparison between a class and a struct, go ahead and like this video, and for sure subscribe to our channel so that you no longer miss any upcoming C# and .NET related videos that help you become a better software developer. Now we are missing one last data structure which got introduced in C#9, and those are records. So let me just switch over the code again. We talked about classes, reference types. We talked about structs, which are value types, so a copy gets created of that object and shared. And here we have a record. So first of all, records can also have methods, but most of the time you will have seen them looking something just like that, right? So I will just remove that again because we can also have methods. Now, as I said, records were introduced in C#9 as a new type of data structure that combines the best of both classes and structs. So records are also reference types, right? Just like classes, but they have a simpler syntax and provide built-in functionality for comparing and hashing objects, just like structs. Now, very important here for the record, keep in mind, and that's the key difference again, that they are usually used to represent immutable data structures. Immutable basically means that once an object got created, it cannot be modified anymore. So after you have created the object, you are not able to modify any of its values. Most of the time you use records for things like dates, time intervals, and configuration objects, for example. But you can use it for everything what you want to be immutable. Let's say invoices. Once an invoice object got created, it should never change again, and you could use a record, for example. Great, so now let's sum that up. Classes, structs, and records each have their own use cases, right? Classes are often used for modeling complex objects such as cars, a bank account or game character or a person, as we had it in our example. Now, structs on the other side are often used for representing small and lightweight objects because they don't have that overhead of the object reference. And they're most commonly used for objects like points, rectangles, and colors, for example. Now, and for the records, right here, they are most often used for representing immutable data structures, right? Such as dates, time interval, configuration objects, and whatever you want to be immutable. Great, so understanding the key differences between all of that data structures can help you make informed decisions when designing your applications. So I hope you enjoyed that video and that you have learned something new. Go ahead and like that video and subscribe to our channel to no longer miss any upcoming C# videos, and for sure check out our C# Progress Academy to really boost your C# developer career. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back in the next video.